The Mad Dragon, Ilja Dragunov, defeats Ricochet. It's clear to see that the WWE are very, very keen on the Mad Dragon, Ilja Dragunov. We got a video package before his match with Ricochet to really hype him up. And he basically said that he's going to bring a level of intensity that we've never seen on the Red brand before. The match itself was a fantastic one, and one that I think we pretty much expected. We got the high-flying style of Ricochet, and we got that intense, technical, powerful prowess, ring prowess from the Mad Dragon. We've seen a Hurricane Rana off the top rope from Ricochet. We got a German suplex on the outside from Ilja Dragunov. He also delivered his Constantine special and also landed 2 H-bombs, with the latter picking up the win and moving on to the quarterfinals, where the Mad Dragon will face main event Jey Uso. This was followed by a backstage interview with Sheamus, who went on to talk about how he's had medical procedure after medical procedure after medical procedure just to get back in a WWE ring, and how it was no secret of his dislike for the Ring General in Gunther. He went on to say that even though they have had banger after banger after banger, tonight he was going to kick Gunther's arse and become 2-time King of the Ring. We then got the second Queen of the Ring first round qualifying match between Zoey Stark and Ivy Nile, and for me this match just didn't quite live up to the Io Sky Natalia match that we've seen previous in the night. If you haven't checked it out already, I go on to talk about that in part 1 of the Raw recap, so please head over there and watch that if you haven't done so already. This match was pretty standard, with both wrestlers getting in their licks. We got a top rope bulldog from Ivy Nile, and she also went for a suplex off the top rope, which was reversed by Zoey Stark, resulting in her crashing Ivy Nile's face into the top turnbuckle. She then delivered the Z360 or the Z360 to pick up the win and advance into the quarterfinals of the Queen of the Ring. It's going to be very interesting to see if Zoey Stark can build on this momentum, as I do believe she is a wrestler that we can keep an eye on for the future. We then got a backstage segment with Awesome Truth, Adam Pearce, and the coach of the Yukon Huskies NCAA basketball team, Dan Hurley. Our Truth went on to say how he wanted a championship match against the Huskies, which prompted The Miz to say, how in the hell can we have a match when they are a basketball team and we are wrestlers? Our Truth went on to say, well, this is sport after all, and how Dan Hurley was part of a smaller promotion called the NCAA. It was a hometown. It was a segment that the crowd in Hartford could get behind, as the Raw was taking place in the arena where the Huskies play. But for me, it's just getting a bit tiresome, this sort of segments that we're getting from Our Truth. He's a lovable guy and all, but for me, it was a segment that I didn't really have much interest in. The segment that I did like, though, was when, straight after this, Adam Pearce is confronted by none other than Braun Breaker, who goes on to ask Adam Pearce, why is he not part of the King of the Ring tournament? Adam Pearce goes on to say, we can discuss this further in his office. For me, this has the makings of potentially Braun Breaker becoming part of the Intercontinental Title picture after King and Queen of the Ring, or building him up as a competitor in Money in the Bank, which will take place later on in the year. Speaking of Intercontinental Championships, we got a match between Chad Gable and Big Bronson Reed, which, before this match started, the cameras went backstage to the Judgment Day, who had a brief segment where they were talking about how Finn Balor wasn't happy to lose to Jey Uso, and Strowman, he blamed Strowman for not being 100%, and that Priest told him not to worry because J.D. McDonough would take care of Braun Strowman at a later date. Dom then introduces himself and brings Carlito into the fold. Carlito goes on to say, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, which resulted in a response from Priest saying that he hadn't forgot about how Carlito costed him the match against Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico this time last year. Back on to the Chad Gable and Big Bronson Reed match. This was definitely a filler angle and one that they had to get on the show to build up this rivalry between the two of them and Sami Zayn. The match was about 2 minutes long, if that. Big Bronson Reed landed a Death Valley driver straight off the bat. We got a German suplex from Chad Gable. Both of them ended up on the top rope, which resulted in Gable throwing Bronson Reed off the top, with both of them crashing onto the canvas. Sami Zayn then got involved, beating down Gable. Gable then got a German suplex in. Big Bronson Reed got involved. And after this sort of segment was finished, we once again seen Big Bronson Reed standing tall. He makes his way backstage where he is greeted by Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce says, look, this cannot continue between the three of you, and what is going to happen? Big Bronson Reed said, this is all business for me. Nothing personal. All I want, I don't care if it's Sami Zayn, I don't care if it's Chad Gable. All I want is that WWE Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. And if Adam Pearce wants this to end, he knows what to do. That is the end of part 2 of the May the 6th Raw recap. If you haven't seen part 1, get over there and check it out. I talk about the Judgment Day. I talk about Finn Balor's match with Jey Uso. I talk about the segment between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, and also that great women's Queen of the Ring qualifying match between Io Sky and Natalya. And once you've seen this, head over to part 3, where we talk about that interview with Becky Lynch and Michael Cole, and we talk about the main event, which saw Gunther and Sheamus have one of the most hard-hitting matches we've seen in a long time. Thank you for watching part 2. My name is Paul Dos Santos, and you have been watching the PDS Wrestling Show. Peace out.